Lufthansa 5 Nada Whiskey, hello, ready?
Yep.
Lufthansa 5 Nada Whiskey, hello, Ava.
Line up to 6 left.
Welcome to another Flight Radar 24 flight deck video. We've got a good one for you today because we're flying on the A320neo from Munich to Funchal in Madeira. Famous for its often tricky and challenging winds, not to mention the fact that part of the runway is built on massive stilts. This is a dream come true for me. Let's go flying with Lufthansa. Hello from Munich, and it's a very fun day here because we're about to go flying with Lufthansa to Funchal in Madeira. As if that weren't enough, we'll be doing it in the jump seat of this A320neo.
In case of engine failure fliegen wir standardmäßig geradeaus. Hier ab. Toga schauen wir uns an, wir sind jetzt recht schwer. Flap 2 Takeoff statt Flap 1, das müssen wir noch auf dem Schirm haben.
Und ansonsten ja, Wet Runway, aber das ist eigentlich für die Thread.
Ja, das sah eigentlich gut aus.
Und Baro Ref.
H109.
H109, checklist complete.
As you may know, Funchal is a captain's only landing, and the captains that land here have to have a special license. It's not a huge amount of extra training, but they need to know their stuff because of the tricky terrain and sometimes even trickier winds, which can blow in multiple directions at once with heavy crosswind and wind shear possibilities. If you've seen any of the videos of the stormy days there, you'll know what I'm talking about. The flight today is going to take a little under 4 hours, so we've got plenty of time up here to bask in that flight deck ambiance.
You have control.
I have control. Man flex 54 is runway out of plus blue.
Thrust set.
As it turns out, this would be by far the bumpiest part of the flight.
Reduce speed 250 knots. Lufthansa 4 Hotel Victor, reduce minimum speed. Lufthansa 4 Hotel Victor, minimum speed. Other Sachen.
Lufthansa 5 Nada Whiskey, passing 55, time level 7 go.
Lufthansa 5 Nada Whiskey, identify Zeros, climb flight level 190.
Lufthansa 5 Nada Whiskey, climb level 190.
And Limit 1 make X-ray, make a right 360, make a right 360.
Right 360, the Limit 1 make X-ray.
Yeah, we have to all Munich arrivals, we cannot do parallel approaches at the moment because the northern mist approach is not clear of weather. So reduce speed 220 knots, descend flight level 110.
So level 110, speed 220, Funchal.
Croatia 439 Papa, climb flight level 150, direkt geradeaus.
Dann die altimeters bitte.
Lufthansa 6 Victor Uniform, also to right.
And cross checked.
Right,
Passing.
Lufthansa 4 1 Mike X-ray, contact director 132305, ciao.
Director 32305, Limit 1 make X-ray, danke.
Und Engine TS geht aus.
That's good, right, Lufthansa 1 Foxtrot Kilo is climbing 5000 feet.
Yeah.
Once we got above that weather, it was all smooth and pleasant.
That was a crowded frequency today in Munich because they had a little weather at the northern runway and they had to close down the mist approach sector, and then you could listened to it, that it really got really crowded
Yeah.
on our south departure.
Yeah.
But now it's getting smoother.
On the 5 Tower Foxtrot, contact this
Frequency is getting calmer.
If you're so inclined, now would be a perfect time to hit that like button.
Okay.
Ryanair 61 Quebec Mike, descent flight level 310, 1500 or more.
Und damit on
Descent
time.
flight level 310, 1500 or more, Ryanair 61 Quebec Mike.
Lufthansa 59 Whiskey, fly heading 245. Eurowings 5905, descent to flight level 360, 1000 or more.
1000 more, descent flight 360.
134605.
Good weather on Madeira at the moment.
Gen X52
And we
Uniform
hope it
Tango on
stays this
navigation
way.
to Hochwald.
Easterly wind, 7 knots,
To
variable,
Optronics
24 degrees, beautiful.
Beeline 1 X-ray Juliet, descent to flight level 3.
May it stay that way until landing. Madeira is quite variable, yeah, so it's always exciting until you actually are there, because the wind can shift a lot, and you have, for Madeira, you have quite strict wind limits, and from certain directions, and I can show you here on the map, displayed like this. Here you have the wind sectors, and from the direction of this sector, for instance, today the wind is coming from 100, that means it's coming from this sector, so we have the normal Airbus manufacturer limit of 35 knots. But as soon as the wind comes out from one of those sectors, the Portuguese authorities have limited the winds. So that means if it comes in the sector between 20 and 40, the maximum wind is 20 knots and the gusts may not exceed 30 knots. And those are quite strict. And also the controllers will not issue a landing clearance until the wind goes above this threshold. So sometimes you have days where the wind really plays piano on our nerves and moves in the direction inside, outside, and tends to stay around 20 knots, 21 knots, 19 knots, so it always stays there. It's like a thriller, you know. I've been flying to Madeira. I have the license since 2008. Yeah, almost 14 years of Madeira flying. And at the moment, this season, we're flying it 3 times a week, which gives us a lot of practice. Now, well, the authorities, they require commanders who fly to Madeira to have this license. That means you have to have a minimum amount of hours as a PIC, and you need to have simulator instruction, run about 2 hours, 4 hours, and then you need, with Lufthansa company, also a flight with a trainer who shows you the airport live after the simulator. And if you have all this, then your license will be, all the license data will be sent to the Portuguese authorities, and then you'll be entered on a list, and this list is with the Portuguese authorities, so they really know all the names of all the commanders who fly to Madeira. Yeah, it's a different airport. It's something else. Okay, sollen wir mal den Change machen? Dann
Machen wir, ja.
I have control, you have RT.
Yeah, you have
Okay.
control.
And we're already switching the positions. He did the takeoff, because from now on it's my leg, as we say it, because later on I do have to do the landing and do have to do the takeoff. But so that Simon gets his takeoff and landing. He did the takeoff in Munich and we'll do the landing later on this evening there.
Weather at Geneva is good.
Okay.
Just a few clouds, wind in runway direction. And Toulouse and Lyon also.
Our main goal is to always have a plan B if something dynamic happens now, if there's a medical situation maybe behind, or even a technical situation which would require us to do a really quick, fast landing, so we already have a mental picture of where we would go to now. And at this point it would be Geneva. And Our work is 90% for the paper basket because we will fly to Madeira. We don't want to land in Geneva. But this is good airmanship to always have a good plan B.
Lunchtime in the flight deck. It's always fun, even though it's a little awkward from the jump seat. Airbus pilots get handy tray tables, but not so for the jump seaters. You won't find me complaining though. The landscape changes from alpine to a drier looking terrain, signaling that we're now over northern Spain. Before long, it's time to start thinking about the last portion of this flight and the approach into Funchal.
As soon as we will have passed Lisboa, we will fly across the Atlantic and then approach Madeira, passing the little island of Porto Santo. And this will be looking like this. There you can see Porto Santo, and the runway is almost as wide as the island itself. So hopefully we can have a look at it. We will pass by probably here north of it, then we can see it on the left hand side later on. And then we will approach the field. I will take the next chart. As soon as we are clear to this waypoint, it's also called Funchal VUR station, but the station is not directly at the airport, it's here. So we will cross this station, fly out onto this little bay. We will have a great look on the right hand side, and you will see the profile of the airport with all the columns which are stabilizing the whole prolongation of the runway. And then we will do a tight turn around here. About the waypoint Gelo, fun fact, Gelo is like ice cream, and there you actually can see the ice cream company. It's all white buildings and stuff, and it defines the waypoint of Gelo. And we will cross this waypoint at a certain height, 850 feet, and then we will do a curved in to approach onto the runway 05. On the ground, last chart, we will land on 05, and then let's see if the landing is short enough, we might be able to vacate the runway via this taxiway, Bravo. If not, if we're a little bit too fast, we'll just take this turning pad, turn around here, taxi back, and then here to our position.
The Atlantic comes into view.
Former times we used to calculate our equal time point for long isolated routes, but now we have such a sophisticated flight management system, we can do it ourselves. Like for instance, I'll take Lisboa and Madeira. Then he'll calculate an equal time point and display it here. That means at this point we have the same distance or the same remaining flight time to Lisboa as to Madeira.
Lufthansa 5, Nada Whiskey Lisboa, bom dia, identified.
This one will be ready at 6587, heavy maintenance level 370.
And after the quick oceanic crossing, it's time to start descent. Look at this beautiful island. I was kind of hoping to see what this landing would look like with a bit of tricky winds, but certainly this is good news for everyone else on board that we have a comfortable and smooth approach and landing into Funchal.
Whiskey, wind providing 120 degrees, 3 knots, variable between 030 and 160 degrees. Touchdown 100 degrees, 6 knots, variable between...
Anyway, I'll let you enjoy the views and a little bit of expert hand flying by the captain.
Ja, Light Variable ist gerechnet.
Ja.
100 above. 1000.
Inside checked.
Checked.
Minimum.
Continue. Main thrust in your flight.
Minimum.
Continue. Geht so langsam runter.
Genau, ja, jetzt gleich. Immer noch?
Jawohl.
$400. $300. $100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. Retard.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Auto brake medium. Diesel.
Madeira Airport Spotting, whose YouTube channel you should subscribe to right away, was kind enough to go out and film our arrival today. While I was on the island, I had the chance to spend a day with Pedro, the man behind the channel, who showed me about a dozen of the best spots for plane spotting around Funchal Airport. And let me tell you, this is an incredible place for getting close to aircraft. It's really fun and exciting even when the weather is calm. Anyway, stay tuned for that video.
Ja, danke für die tolle Unterstützung. After landing checklist.
After landing, radar, predictive wind shear.
Off.
Big thanks to Lufthansa for inviting us along on this one. The flight crew on this trip were so genuinely kind and hospitable and eager to talk about what they do. It was a privilege and a great deal of fun. In Madeira for Flight Radar 24, I'm Gabriel Lee.
Ohne Reich, würde ich sagen.
Ja.
Ne?